Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're back for another amazing episode, finally, of Garbage Time. It's been a little couple week hiatus, not a bye week. I joked with Zach that it was a bye week, I think 2 weeks ago. I don't think you can say that 2 weeks in a row, though. I think it's just us being lazy at that point.
Dude,
Yeah, you got Nick and James, rare duo for y'all tonight. Nick, how's your week? How have you been? I haven't seen you in what feels like a month.
Dude, it's been a while, but it's work, planning the wedding, watching some sports, and I can say
That's what we do.
I hate football season. I need it to be over. I've never said that in my life, but it's just so bad. It's rough. Fantasy's rough. Fucking Giants suck at donkey ass.
Maybe it's just me. Like, maybe I'm just like crushing it because it's a bad year, but I'm actually having a really good year in fantasy. And we have so much news to go over. There's like a lot of things to dive into. That's like most of the show this week. But like, let's Nick, let's lead it off. Let's get it out of the way. As much as he wasn't the guy he was last year, it must still hurt seeing Daniel Jones go down and be out for the year, because now you're relying on Tommy DeVito and maybe Tyrod Taylor. I don't know what his situation is.
Tyrod's on IR for the next 4 weeks.
Yikes.
So yeah,
Tommy DeVito,
dude, the guy can't throw the ball. He's a running quarterback that's afraid to throw the ball. It's so tough to watch, especially given last season. We had a good season since like 2015, and we just took 50 steps back. It's just on the Daniel Jones note. I hope he's okay. He's gonna be, I don't want to say he's gonna be fine, but a lot of the players who have ACL tears, they come back. They're moving, they're good to go.
It's not the 80s anymore. Like, you're fine.
No,
it sucks. You'll be back.
Yeah, but I'm off. I think I've said this before. I'm off the Daniel Jones train. It's time.
Wow, officially,
it's time. I felt like I had to give him a shot this season because he's coming off a good season. He got paid. You're expecting a jump forward, but no, I'm over it. I think we're gonna have to keep him for another year, and then that's what the contract is. It was a 4-year deal. After 2 years, it's a minimal hit on the cap, so it's time. Whether or not we draft a quarterback in March, April, whenever it is, but I'm over it.
That's painful too, especially because he gave you guys so much hope last year with like what he could be. Like, you saw his ceiling, like you saw what he can be, and it just came crashing down, like right to floor level. That's devastating, man. I'm sorry. I was so hyped for you guys this year. I remember on this show, putting a bet in live, thinking like 6.5 wins, like easy money. Now,
barely.
Now
you got to tank, right? I mean,
I guess, yeah. Like, what do you do at this point?
You got to tank. And again, if we don't take a quarterback, I want Marvin Harrison Jr. because we need wide receiver help. Shepard's there. He should be gone by the end of the year. Slayton's been talked about to be traded for the last few years, and we're not using Jalen Hyatt. I mean,
at all.
Is it really that hard to throw a deep ball? Is it?
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
It really should not be.
And I understand that our offensive line is horse shit, but like, flick your fucking wrist. Throw the ball 30, 40 yards. You guys are quarterbacks in the fucking National Football League. Flick the wrist and see what happens. But
oh my god,
going forward for the rest of the season,
dude. I'm sorry to hear that. That does suck. You hate to hear like anybody losing faith in it, because I've been through it with Baker, where I had to be like, "This is it. I'm done. We got to move on." Speaking of cutting ties, though, nice little transition. The Raiders finally fired Josh McDaniels and GM Dave Ziegler, which seemed like just a matter of time. And I know a lot of Raiders fans have tried to defend their GM. He's done an equally terrible job. They have not had a good GM since, I don't know, before Mayock even. Like, it's been such a bad run lately. They have not drafted well. I guess Max Crosby is your only highlight, really. Terrible stuff all across the board. Josh McDaniels is set to be a Patriot in a year. What do you think? He's going to be like an assistant next year?
He'll probably go back.
He always comes back. He's
No,
like a sad puppy.
They fucking took back Joe Judge after he finished with us. Like, if you're taking back Joe Judge, you're taking back.
That's a low bar, by the way. That's a really low bar.
That's what I'm saying, dude. If you're gonna take back Joe fucking Judge, then he'll be back.
And it's funny because I feel like so many people called this shot before. It's like there were people who did the same thing with Dan Jones. They were like, you know what, like Josh McDaniels. I guess in the coach sense, but it was like Josh McDaniels had his moment. He like failed in Denver, but he's learned, he's grown. Give him a chance in Vegas. I was not one of those people. I was very much so on the Josh McDaniels will not change. Spoiler alert, did not. Slurred over that one too. Spoiler alert. Spoiler, did not, and ends up just being the same shitty coach. He's a great coordinator, an awful coach. We've seen that so many times recently.
And it seems to be a trend too, coming out of New England. Like, what's his name? Matt Patricia. He did the same thing. Went to Detroit.
Noted offensive coordinator Matt Patricia.
Shat the bed horrendously. McDaniels, Joe Judge, and they all seem, like I said, they all seem to go back. So it's only a matter of time.
The only one is why can't I think of his name right now? The guy who was coaching in Miami. Oh my god. Wow, why am I blanking on that? I don't know.
You know, anyway. Now it's fucking running onto me. I know who he is. He's in my head. I
can see him. I just can't, like, Brian. Oh my god. Yeah, whatever. All right. It's gonna pop into one of our heads like middle of the show.
It'll.
Keeping on the Patriots news, this is more of a debate topic than anything realistically. Bill Belichick, the rumor starts swirling about him being on the hot seat, even to the point where people are saying, like, the Globe is reporting that Bill Belichick might get fired mid-season, which just feels like the Boston Globe being like, this could happen. There's a possibility. Like, yeah, there's a possibility that happens. Yeah, but the dude just signed a extension. He is the winningest coach in, at least I know team history for sure. I don't know how far up the list he is. I think he's second right now.
Yeah, top 3.
Yeah, like you're not firing him mid-season. He's the only thing keeping you afloat.
He's fucking Bill Belichick. You're not gonna fire Bill Belichick, dude.
Ignore all those other things. He's fucking Bill Belichick. You're not firing him mid-season. That's a disgrace to his career.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And honestly, if they were to let him go, I think he retires. I don't think he goes anywhere else. Because he's what? No. He's close to 80, right?
Oh, he has to be. He's got to be late 70s, right?
Yeah, dude. There's no way. And if what they need to do is take away his GM duties, because he's running both ends.
Absolutely.
Because he's trying to make it work with these scrubs, and clearly it's not working. You're not going to win. The NFL's different. You're not going to win any games in the current state of the NFL with scrubs.
You're not.
You're not. You can find a needle in the haystack every so often, but you're not going to continuously do it year in, year out and expect to win or go to the Super Bowl. It's just not how it works now. So they need to go get some offensive weapons. Stevenson isn't cutting it. Zeke, I haven't really seen the Patriots play, so I can't speak on Zeke, but the receivers they have are garbage.
Yeah, yikes. I mean, we'll touch on the Patriots a little bit more later. Just I got them noted in our show notes. Last bit of news, which is just smart coaching / being a GM. A guy the Patriots could have had at multiple turns. Will Levis named the starter in Tennessee over Ryan Tannehill. Smart. I know his last performance wasn't like anything mind-blowing, but that first week should have given you enough. You're like, we evaluated correctly. We got this guy at a huge discount. This was a dude that was like talked about being a first-round talent. We got him, I think, in the 3rd. That's our guy. Cool. Next few years, that's our guy. Has to be.
Tannehill's not it, obviously. I feel bad for Malik. Was it Malik Willis? That's his name, right?
Yeah.
We've seen him play. He's not anything special. I don't think he'll be anything special. He'll be at most a backup. I don't think he'll start anywhere because honestly, every team I think in the NFL has a serviceable quarterback. I mean, except the Giants right now, but like even Taylor fucking Heineke and Atlanta. Right. Mayfield's lighting it up.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse to be like mediocre in the NFL anymore. Like there's just not a place for it. In one game, Will Levis ended 2 careers. That's insane.
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis were just punching air on the sidelines. Like absurd. Next, I think we didn't have a chance, or I don't know if you guys talked about it. I don't think so, actually. But trade deadline has come and gone.
Mm-hmm.
And holy shit, Washington just selling the farm on their defensive line. Like they kept Payne, I guess, which is cool. But Chase Young ends up in San Francisco, which is horrifying. Montez Sweat is up in Chicago. They needed an edge rusher, and I think they got an underrated dude who ended up getting paid fat. I don't have the numbers here for that.
I think it was like a 4-year, $98 million deal. I don't think he was worth $100 million. No way.
He's worth 98. No, I like Montez. I don't think, I mean, that's a huge number. Let's be real about it. I've always thought he was like not a top 10 edge rusher, but like top 15 on the low, like on the higher end. Yeah, I'd take that. Like
he's good
12, 13,
for sure.
Yeah.
But like 98 million, that's almost top end, edge rush.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, dude, for very minimal stats that he has. How long has he been in the league for? 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah, past his rookie deal, I think. So yeah, like 5 or 6 maybe.
He's relatively young. I mean, they locked him up. If he can perform, good for him. But Chicago's another issue.
Yeah, I was going to say it's also a hard system to perform in, but they were desperate for an edge rusher. They needed that pressure, and I didn't see him. I didn't see if he did well, but I mean, it's 1 weekend, so we'll evaluate again next episode. Of course. But Chase Young in San Francisco is absurd. I hate that.
It's funny because the week before, I don't know who I was talking to or who I was listening to, but the topic of will the Niners make another big splash trade this year like they did last year for CMC, and they did. And Jesus Christ, that defense was scary before. Now that you have Nick Bosa and Chase Young on opposite ends, my goodness.
If both of them stay healthy, that's a home record defense. That is
luck. And then you got what's his name? Middle linebacker. Warner. Up the middle. That's ridiculous. Come on now.
You can't compete with that. Like how as an offensive coordinator do you plan against that? You really they're going to beat you at so many levels. Right.
They're going to give 2 to Nick Bosa. They're not going to give 2 to fucking Chase Young. That leaves the middle wide open. So, I mean, good luck to anybody trying to scheme that out.
I don't know. I'm not playing anyone against San Francisco. Any running back I have to play or like quarterback, leave him on the bench. They're going to put up Clayton Tune type numbers. Did you see that, by the way? I had him in like a dynasty and it like stashed away. I was like, I don't feel confident in him against Cleveland. And I was sick as hell all weekend. But I look at it and I think my vision's fucked up. Dude got he had a negative 23. I shit you not. If I look at one of the leagues, he got like minus 23 points. And I was like, damn, I'm so glad I did not play this dude. Negative 23. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna see if I can pull his stats up real quick. But the last big move, that like sounds weird that it was a big move, but ends up paying off huge and goes back to like having a good backup. And he's about to get so much money this offseason. Josh Dobbs ending up in Minnesota to replace Kirk Cousins.
He didn't even start the game. I didn't even realize he did not start.
No, he like Jared Hall played like a couple snaps, got flattened, and then they brought in Josh Dobbs with no practice. He got like a cadence on the sideline and like a couple snaps. Center's like, all right, we'll figure it out. And they won. They won the game.
They won, dude.
What? This is the year of Josh Dobbs.
He was excellent during that game, man. He single-handedly won that game for that team.
Oh my god, that's insane. Good for him though. I'm happy for him because he's not a dude that's ever done anything to be like, I hate him. I don't whatever. Like Josh Dobbs is just out there trying to like land a gig. And you know what? After all that time with the Steelers, I should have hated him, but like here he is, and he's living. And I'm happy for you, Josh Dobbs. I know you're a big time fan of Boda Sports. Thank you for supporting Josh Dobbs, and I hope you're doing well. Also, please support us, Josh Dobbs. This will become a completely pro Josh Dobbs podcast if you like. We'll put your face up over there. We will put a picture of Josh Dobbs. Sponsor us. Here it is. By the way, I found it. Clayton Tune was minus 2188.
Holy hell!
58 passing yards, 2 interceptions, 3. Oh, all right. This one counts first downs for his benefit. 1 rushing first down, 1 fumble lost, and 7 sacks counted against him in this one. So maybe that's why he got sacked 7 times against the Browns. We had a force going against this dude.
Dude, that Browns defense. That Browns defense.
I love it, dude.
Little segue to a different category, but how do you feel about your Cleveland Browns, man?
I fucking love it. I love it. I really thought like Jim Schwartz coming in was gonna make like a difference maybe in a couple years. I didn't think it was gonna be this instant of an impact. Jim Schwartz has like turned this whole defense into like a monster unit, and that we've been healthy, which is nice too. So like if the offense can catch up and start getting this rhythm with Deshaun, which in the 2 games he's been healthy, he's been great, but he just has to be healthy.
I think that with Deshaun Watson and a full healthy season, because again, last year he was in and out. Obviously, he had this suspension, but I think you guys
Bengals for the Super Bowl. Okay, Austin comments Bengals for the bowl. Not what I want. What's going to happen?
It is
after last week. They're trending up again. They're back. Jamar's looking good. T. Higgins coming back, hopefully healthy.
More importantly, Joe Burrow is healthy.
Joe Burrow healthy. Yeah, after the concerns early in the year, dude. The Bengals are scary too. It's a tough debate. It's gonna be hard to get out of the AFC North, which is kind of what we expected, and it sputtered around. The Steelers, I don't know what's gonna happen with them, but
fraud. I just want to put it out there. Fucking fraud. Dude. I don't understand how the Steelers are 5-3. I don't get it.
I didn't realize they were 5-3. I thought they were way lower than that. I would have flipped those numbers.
5-3.
Quick add in here. Austin saying they paid Joe Burrow too much for them not to win. Agreed. But let's slide on a little bit. Let's talk about our game of the week from last week. Nick, do you want to start off or want me to go?
Let's see. Hold on. You start off.
All right. So in my little fever laying there dying, I was watching the local, which was Washington versus New England. And I was genuinely worried for Sam Howell this whole game because I know what Bill Belichick does to young QBs, which sounds problematic when I say that out loud. But what Sam Howell did is exactly who I thought this kid was going to be. 325, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That interception was a bad interception. But between him, Emmanuel Forbes on the other side with a 91.3, which outgraded CJ Stroud as the best rookie grade this week. The young Commanders team with Eric Bieniemy, if they get fucking Ron out of their way, if they get their head coach out and like get a competent head coach, they're a force. They have a squad. Now they need edge rushers, which is very apparent. Their pass rush was not good against Mac Jones. But like Washington has a squad. They have a unit, which I'm sorry to tell you, like in division that sucks. On the other side of that, the Patriots do not look good. It wasn't, I want to blame it on Mac. It was not Mac's fault. Like Mac was, he was fine. But like there were a lot of passes that like tipped off fingertips and went intercepted, including the very last play when they were driving. Like there's a lot of plays that like should not have, or a lot of passes that should not have been dropped. I'm thinking also Jalen Reagor deep. That were just dropped. Bringing it back, Austin commenting, the O-line is also dog shit. The Patriots offensive line is shit. The receivers are shit. It's bad. The defense is good. That's a highlight. Like, thank God the defense is keeping them in these games. But man, they need a lot on offense. And I think Mac Jones still has 1 more year, for better, for worse, whatever Patriots fans think of that. But they need wide receivers. They need to just buy every wide receiver they can this offseason.
he's not going to perform if you don't give him help. It's so simple. It's so simple. If you're not going to give him help, this is the way he's going to play. You can't throw it to Hunter Henry all the time. You can't.
No, when they had him locked down, the Commanders understood that and took advantage of it.
Yeah, of course.
But like, think of who he's passing to out there. It's like an unproven Demario Douglas, who I like. I know Zach is a fan of, but unproven. He was good. Juju, who's a shell of what he was, and say what you want about him, but he's a shell of what he was. Jalen Reagor, who is a flop.
Devontae Parker, who's 30 years old, 33 years old.
Parker, who's about to go in retirement next year. I call him Tallreek Hill, but fucking Tyquan Thornton, who's a bust. Like no one worthwhile. They didn't make a move for anyone worthwhile. They were involved in talks with every wide receiver that was available, but they didn't pay a single one, and it's biting them in the ass. Even a DeAndre Hopkins at like 60% still improves his team dramatically, by 2 wins.
I've been saying it since Randy Moss was in New England. Like I said, this goes back to them signing scrubs and thinking they can win. They had a shot at Greg Jennings in his prime. They had a shot at Calvin Johnson. They had a shot at Larry Fitzgerald. They don't want to pay these guys. I sound like a broken record. It's just you're not going to win. Go out and get.
You're not going to win if you're not paying dudes. Right. If you're not going to build through the draft, you got to build through free agency and paying people. And they tried that and didn't do it well. I mean, they got Kendrick Bourne, who was like solid. He was out receiving anybody, but Kendrick Bourne's not like a stud receiver.
No.
Austin puts another comment in. Don't love Mac, but he needs more than 2 seconds before the scramble. He also cannot scramble. Very true. He is like stone-legged when he tries. He's like brick shoes running around. It's bad. It's painful to watch, honestly. All right, Nick, you're up. Game of the week.
Game of the week.
Or you can just take that one too. We can just talk more about that. But,
I think I'm going to go to the Bengals Bills, and I don't want to talk about the Bengals. The Bengals have won 5 straight,
something like that. They've been on a heater
within those 2 games. We don't need to talk about them. Everybody knew that they were a midseason team. They picked it up, and they're just going to keep rolling with it. They're going to finish with, I don't know, 11 wins maybe at the minimum, I think. But the Bills are in trouble.
The Bills should be slamming the panic button right now.
Dude, no. They have to be. Unless they have to be right now. It worked for a little bit, the Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen connection, and it was winning them games. Don't get me wrong, those two are still fantastic players, but teams are figuring it out. Obviously, all he's going to throw to is Stephon Diggs. They need help. And my other point that I want to talk about is, where's the run game? Where is the run game? It's non-existent, and you have James Cook, and I like James Cook. He's young. He's fast. He's shifty. They're not giving him the workload and not giving him touches inside the end zone, red zone, which is mind-boggling to me. I have no idea why, and I have no idea why Latavius Murray is getting those touches. I understand he's big. I understand he's strong, but the guy's over 30. He's done. He's not gonna do anything for you. And
no, and sorry, go. Keep.
And again, they signed Leonard Fournette to the practice squad. He's another version of fucking Latavius Murray.
I was about to talk about Leonard Fournette, dude. It makes no sense. Like, what do you have a good thing in front of you?
It makes no sense. And I don't know how good the offensive line is, but I'm assuming it's better than a lot of the teams that have their offensive lines. But you got to give the running game a shot. And we all know how good Josh Allen is. You want to protect him, right? The coach keeps saying that we don't want to drive him into the ground and put him in these situations where he's going to get hurt. But week after week, we're seeing Josh Allen in these positions where he could get hurt. So it just doesn't make sense to me what's going on in Buffalo right now. And to the defense, they've had way too many injuries. Matt Milano out for the year. Tre'Davious White out for the year. They're banged up secondary, so they need to do something. They need to figure it out. If they have aspirations to be in the playoffs and win a Super Bowl, they got to figure it out and figure it out fast because they're in third in that division right now, second because the Jets lost.
So off of a quick search right now, just like a little like whatever. The Buffalo Bills are kind of ranked around like middle of the table for a lot of people, like 15 to 13 range on their offensive line. So maybe there's something there we're missing as like outside perspectives. Austin comes in with another perspective. My God, look at this kid go. You can only throw to your main target so often before he's double slash triple covered. They need an option play. They do indeed need an option play. They need anything. They need something to diversify what's already in front of them because it's the same old is not working anymore.
No. And I don't know. This might be a shot in the dark, but it's an idea that I'm going to throw out there. Davante Adams needs out of Vegas. Clearly. He doesn't want to be there.
Dude. Not getting him out like and traded is wild because that's going to be an off-season storyline already.
You can imagine a Stephon Diggs on one side and Davante Adams on another with Josh Allen.
How do you deal with that?
How do you like you said, how do you deal with that? And they got Dalton Kincaid, this year's rookie. And who's the other guy that got hurt? The other tight end, drawing a blank.
Oh, Dalton. No, not Dalton Schultz. Yeah. Anyway, we suck at names tonight.
Yeah, it's just, something's not right today. But you know who I'm talking about. The guy, the tight end that got hurt, and the rookie tight end now taking over.
Mm-hmm.
They got good pieces. They need to figure out the run game. Go get a secondary receiver because Gabe Davis ain't it. Oh, I gotta get up.
Inconsistent old man backs getting you. The inconsistencies with like Gabe Davis are just like bountiful and painful to watch. If I was a Buffalo fan, I'd be hurt.
Yeah.
Megan Popolo comments blank, which is really nice. Thanks for comments and love. So, moving on, I personally did not watch this game. I missed it. I will be the first to admit that, and I regret it because I had every opportunity to watch the Bucks and Texans. But my God, do we have to respect CJ Stroud now?
Greatness in the making.
Hell. Like he became the youngest to hit 450 and 5 TDs, beating Patrick Mahomes by I think 6 or 7 months or something like that. Just to get that stat is absurd. Like he is a talent. And there was so much over scouting of this kid of oh, will he show up in the big moments, blah, 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 whatever. And then he does this. He has the weapons. He has a system. He is, oh my God, good.
Dude, he's really fucking good.
There's a lot of teams punching themselves for not drafting or jumping up to get CJ Stroud.
Fucking Carolina. Bryce Young looks like poop.
Dude, I mean, you got to give him more than 1 year naturally. And it's not like a Zach Wilson situation, but my Lord. Man, it's getting bad.
My Lord.
Their offensive line is also terrible. If you watch it, it's like Bryce Young is in the Mac Jones situation, like Austin's talking about. He just does not have time at all. So with CJ Stroud being this monster of a man and us talking about the Bengals being this force of a team right now, mid-season Bengals, that's going to tie me in. Look at this transition. This is some next level shit. That's my game of the week next week. It has to be Joe Burrow, CJ Stroud. What can this young Texans team do against the hot Bengals? It's going to be another shootout, I think. Or it could be completely fucking terrible and CJ Stroud comes back down to earth. But I think this is going to be another shootout between two young star quarterbacks.
CJ Stroud has a bright future ahead. A bright future. He's got young receivers, young, middle-aged in terms of football play, tight end, Dalton Schultz. I don't know how old he is. He's under 30. Who knows? Whatever.
I'd say under 30, but not by much, just without looking.
I think they need to fix the run game a little bit. I don't trust Dameon Pierce and Singletary, but they got a good thing going in Houston right now.
They do. They've done it. There you go. Right again. Like, if you're not going to do it through free agency, acquire a ton of draft picks and draft well, and that's what they've done. Singletary looks great. I can't think of the safety they have out there. It looks great. Their offensive line is built well. CJ Stroud's a monster. Nico Collins is coming into his own. Tank Dell is a beast. They drafted well. They did everything well.
And I'm happy I don't know the stat right off the top of my head, but I think CJ Stroud has 1 interception on the year. Two maybe.
That's some safe play for a rookie. That's crazy if that's true.
That's insane. He's got, I think it's a 14-2 touchdown to interception ratio, and that's insane.
You're not kidding. He has a 14-1 ratio.
See?
He has thrown 1 interception, and that was in week 3. Good for you, sir. Good for you.
It doesn't get any better than that for the Texans. It really doesn't.
No, like, you got to feel so good about hitting on your first round pick like that. Like that. Hats off. If I had a hat, it would be off to you. Did we cover the possibility of Bill getting fired, McDaniels head coach? Yes, we didn't talk about the head coach replacements as much. I touched on TikTok, but I guess we'll interject that real quick. McDaniels very well could be the head coach. I think it's going to be Bill O'Brien or Gerard Mayo, who's still sitting there waiting, because Gerard Mayo could have been a coach last year. But I got nothing else for that. I don't think it's going to be Josh McDaniels this quick.
No, I don't think so either. He's a coordinator at best.
Yeah, he'll be offensive coordinator next year. Enjoy that. All right, Nick, I've said my game of the week for next week. What do you got?
Let me look at the schedule real quick.
Because there's a lot. There's some good ones in there, man. There's not a lot of like upsets, I'd say, necessarily. I am going to pick the Texans in this matchup. I think they'll knock the bank. No, I don't like it. I'm gonna snap that one right back. I'm gonna take the Bengals. I think the Bengals end up winning that one not handedly, but like
I think it'll be a shootout and
like
close.
10 points.
Yeah. So my game of the week is going to be the 49ers and the Jaguars.
Ooh, that could be a fun one.
That's a spicy one.
Thank you for stopping in, Austin. Appreciate you.
Peace, Austin. But yeah, 49ers coming off the bye. 2 straight losses, and I don't think they're, obviously we all know, we talked about Chase Young coming to the defense. I don't know who's going to win. I'm not going to pick a winner, but the Niners are coming back with a mission. This is a statement win. They want to prove to the league that they can come back, after dropping 2 games. And Jacksonville's sitting at 6-2. They're doing really good this year. I mean, Trevor Lawrence hasn't taken that next step forward, but
right.
It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a fun game.
I think it's going to be great. I honestly, I saw that one too, and I really debated it because I think the Jags is the way they're passing. And to be honest, like the 49ers, we want to talk about their weakness on defense. Their pass defense against receivers is terrible. But will Trevor Lawrence have enough time to pass with Chase Young and Nick Bosa, like pinch him in? So it'll be real interesting to see what the new look looks like. I'm always going to bet on the Jags just because I really love like the feistiness. I don't know why. Man, that's side another note. Actually. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go. You go.
Little side note. Tell me how the Niners and the Jaguars play at 1:00 on Sunday.
Yeah.
And our Sunday night game is the fucking Jets against the Raiders.
So our primetime, I'd have to look at what Monday night is, but our primetime game is that. And then on Thursday, tomorrow.
Broncos and Bills on Monday.
That might be actually fine. But on Thursday, tomorrow, we're treated to the Bears and Panthers. Is that it?
Come on. Yes.
That's terrible.
What are we doing? Flex it out of there.
I know. Yeah, I mean, obviously, but like Figure it out. You knew that. Like, you knew well enough. You knew what you were doing. You screwed us. Thursday night games are getting bad. Like, figure it out. They need better matchups.
A nice ease into, the weekend, football weekend, and we're stuck with fucking the Panthers and the Bears. And Justin Fields is doubtful. He's not going to play.
Right. It's going to be Tyson Bagent or whatever again. I don't care. I don't care about Tyson. I want to see Justin Fields and Bryce Young go against each other. Sure, maybe that spikes the blood a little bit. Nothing else. It's sitting at about it's not 6-12 right now. It's sitting at about 5 o'clock, maybe even 7. It's just curling back inside of myself. Oh, it took you a second. I'm just not. I'm not excited. I'm not excited.
I'm gonna figure out something else to do tomorrow night.
Wow. You get endless sushi and hibachi Thursday night. Go for it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right. Fuck. Any other bold predictions for next week? Because I don't have a lot. I want to see the Patriots leave Bill Belichick in England. That'll be the way that they send him in.
Oh, Giants are gonna get
Germany, I guess. What's up?
Germany. Giants get spanked by Dallas this weekend. Spanked.
Oh no, you guys have Dallas.
You want to hear something that's really funny? We haven't played the Eagles yet.
You haven't played the Eagles yet? Is it one of those situations where you have Eagles by Eagles?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we got Dallas this weekend. I think New England next weekend. And then we got to buy in there Philly, maybe Washington, and then Philly. That's the rest of our season.
That sucks.
So it's fun being a Giants fan.
I'm so sorry for you. That is nightmare fuel.
What are you gonna do? It happens. But that's all I got. I don't know if we missed anything.
We probably did, but that's kind of the garbage time appeal. Is it's rough around the edges. You're gonna get tetanus. That's the appeal.
Love it.
What's up? Sorry. Cut.
No.
Oh, all right. Let's just wrap her. Let's just call it. Look at that speed round. You know what?
Yeah.
We're good. We crushed it. Ooh. Oh, hold on. We got to wrap this up quick then. Thank you all for joining us for a expedited episode of Garbage Time with Nick and James. I hope you enjoyed. If you're listening, I appreciate you. If you liked, I love you. If you followed, thank you. I know you didn't this time, but and either way, I still love it. I still appreciate every view, every like, everything. I appreciate you, the viewer, the listener. You know where to find us everywhere at Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you want, any social media at Boda Sports. That's where you'll find us, pumping it full of content soon, getting back into the rhythm of things now that I'm back from being married. Run it. Stay beautiful.
I guess go Big Blue. I guess. I guess.
Tread water.
Yes, lightly.
Tread water, get tetanus. Garbage time.
Bye, everybody.